Hello creation, I hope you're well. I've just written this, it's just come through, it's only a short paragraph. It's called The Dirt Upon the Hand. 'Tis with great anticipations widely spread across the globe that we await that of the coming, for the old world must implode. Energy uprisings that come without delay uproot the deeply rooted, once of soil, now of the clay. Industry did turn towards greed and lost all compassion. More and more for profit puts employee on short rations, squeezing all those who dare not speak out for fear of loss of job, to work and work without much play, results in a soul now robbed. Robbed of all that youthfulness and enigmatic smile, robbed by those pickpockets of life that make sweet life taste vile, robbed by that of innocence that put the smile upon the face, replacing name by number within the aptly named rat race. Robbed by that of pride after job satisfaction now removed, to dwindle with a will to live that you cannot see improve. Robbed of by the architects that do not understand that a happy workforce is a productive workforce that don't mind the dirt upon the hand. Always a good saying with that. A happy workforce is a productive workforce. I worked at many places, and I worked at one particular place on 3 separate occasions, and the first occasion it was awesome. You know, we'd be playing cricket, there'd be laughter, people enjoying the job. You know, it was a thriving industry, it was a thriving company. There wasn't a day went by without a laugh, you know, and plenty of it, and it was fun. It was fun. It was fun, pure fun. And then ambition of one individual in particular at this particular company, who worked his way up through the ranks, for the, shall we say, and ended up being one of the directors, who it was all about business, it was all about, we were suppressed to such an extent, it just took all the fun. It really did. And it wasn't me just saying that. I witnessed that, and I witnessed the whole workforce. You know, the life was sucked out of that company by one individual's ambition to do whatever it took to climb his way to the top. This is no bullshit. This is how it's how I perceive it to be, and it's how many who worked at that place perceived it to be. And being of the health and safety executive, being coming from a health and safety background, the place changed. There was so many new rules and regulations that were brought in that it made it virtually impossible to I don't know. It were like we were buried under rules and regulations, and you couldn't fart. You couldn't fart without being penalised. You know, it's a saying, isn't it? Well, it is now if it hadn't been before. But that was the thing with it. It was, you couldn't breathe without fear of being penalised one way or another. And, you know, there's unfortunate. But then I suppose when you look at it, it's finding that balance, isn't it? Because, you know, it's like anything. There's always got to be a balance. And if it's been heavily weighed to the side of what's the word I'm looking for? If it's been heavily weighed to one side, if it's well out of balance, and the workforce have had the freedoms which some could say were a little bit careless, then I can understand it. But it went to the other extreme. It went to the absolute other extreme, and it became not a nice place to work physically, because we were buried under health and safety equipment, you know, as it were. And I get it, you know, I mean, I understand it, but there's a way of implementing change, and you don't do it as a despot. You don't do it as a tyrant. You don't be, you know, you don't walk over those who, without those, you wouldn't have a position. You wouldn't. It's not that you wouldn't have a position. You know, it's that, isn't it? A happy workforce is a productive workforce. You know, and that's the thing. That's the thing. When someone's sort of down there, you know, in the mode, you don't get the best out of them, do you? They don't want to achieve for you. They've got that off attitude. No, I'll do it my time. You know, people start disappearing to the toilet for half an hour at a time. You know what I mean? You know, production's got to go down. It's got to fall, hasn't it? But I just think it went to the absolute extreme, and a lot of compassion was lost in business, because it's all about money. It's all about making a buck, and, you know, gosh, there's some, you know, it's just, it's a shame. It's a shame, really. It's just, you know, a happy workforce really is a productive workforce, you know. And I do understand that, you know, you can't, if you've got to find that balance, haven't you? You've got to find that balance, because unfortunately some employers will take the mic, won't they? They will take the mickey. Anyway, it's all a pity. So that's what I've written, that's what's come through anyway. The dirt up on the hand, and there we go. It's one of them. If it resonates with you, it does. If it don't, it don't. Alright, we'll see what comes through next time. Take care.